Hi everybody, it's Adam from LUCIDPIXUL, and today I want to talk about something that is at the core of your existing success or lack thereof, the long, stretched out, difficult career you've had or not, or I want to nip it in the bud if you're somebody who's young, looking forward towards an artistic career or artistic education, whatever the case might be, and you're not sure which way to go. Well, today I want to talk with you about decisions. Making decisions. Committing to decisions. And to get at the core of what I'm talking about here, I want to look at two particular words. One is the word commitment, and the other one is the word destiny. All right? On the left, we have commitment. What does commitment mean? Well, commitment means to dedicate yourself to something completely. Not partially, completely. That's commitment. That's saying, this is where I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to invest my entire life into this particular thing, be it love, be it career, be it whatever. On the other hand, we have destiny. And destiny means your fate, where you were destined to be, the thing you were chosen to be from birth. It's in your blood, it's in your DNA, it's in your heritage, whatever. More often than not, the thing that either defines the quick success or the very stretched out success of a career is in how we treat these two words together. When we look at the word commitment, if we stick the word destiny to it, the word commitment then becomes, I commit myself fully to this forever. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. If we take the word destiny out of it, then the word commitment means something completely different. We take a lot of weight off of the word commitment by removing the word destiny. It becomes, I commit myself fully to this for now. And we'll see where it goes. And it's that very thing that's at the core of people succeeding or failing in life. Or I wouldn't say failing, but succeeding, taking a much longer time to succeed. And very often, people who do have a tendency to combine these two words together and say, if I'm going to commit myself to an artistic career and I'm going to commit myself to this particular type of artistic career forever, that they take this word so seriously that they cannot commit. They just don't commit to anything at all. They're too afraid to. Who wouldn't be? If somebody walked up to you and said, here's a lollipop. It's a lemon lollipop. If you lick this lollipop, you will have to eat lemon lollipops for the rest of your life. You'd go, screw that. I'm afraid, I don't know whether or not I like them. I haven't even tasted a lemon lollipop yet. I have no idea. But we're expected to do this in our career. The lemon lollipop is your career, and I'm saying here, if you lick this lollipop, you're committing yourself. It is your fate, it is your destiny, and you have to do this for the rest of your life. It'll petrify you. You'll sit in this state of suspended animation in this thick, viscous liquid for the rest of your life because you're too afraid to make this decision because there's so much weight on this decision. If you're somebody who you find you might be in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and you haven't found success yet, despite the fact that everybody and their great uncle tells you that they've never met an artist as talented as you, yet you don't have a successful career, I guarantee you it's because you're afraid to commit to something for a long enough term to get good at it because you're afraid of the permanence associated with the word commitment. So you keep yourself back from just picking a direction. So what do? You get rid of the word destiny. The word destiny is a fairy tale word that was put in our heads. I remember even when my daughter Emily, when she was like not even a year old and she was still in her car seat. I was at some bistro cafe and these old people walked up to her because they saw her with her big green eyes. She's looking around at the room around her, and the old person, in a very loving way, said, she's going to be architect when she gets older, right? Because she's looking at the walls. It was a cute thing to say, but it is a reflection of modern day beliefs, of modern day society, that we have this fairy tale belief in destiny, right? We are destined to be with our one true love. We are destined to have this one passion. We are destined to have this career for the rest of our life. And my opinion to that is, there's a very old school, very old belief that really needs to be completely discarded. Because nobody can commit themselves to anything for their entire life, let alone for the next 720 days, without having a good, clear idea of where it's going to take them, right? It took me over 20 years of my career to really know where I felt I belonged for now. But I have no idea where I'm going to be 5 years from now. God only knows, right? I could be a freaking stand-up comedian in 5 years. Not likely, but you never know, right? But that's what I'm saying. God only knows where you're going to be 5 years from now. However, when you take the word fate and you throw it in the, you bury it in the dirt, and you take this word commitment alone, it becomes something very different. It's no longer committing to something forever and ever and ever. No, you're committing to it for now. But the word commitment is still a very important word. And this is what happens. What people do is they say, well, if I commit to something, I'm committing to it forever. So I'm not going to commit to anything at all. I'm saying get rid of the permanence and commit to something for now. But you have to commit to it for a certain length of time. And there's a very good quote that I love that I heard. I can't remember where it originated from. Let me know in the comments below if you know who originally wrote this quote. Here she says, "Learn the technicalities of drawing so well that you can ultimately ignore the technicalities and produce the real thing. Art." What is art? Well, that's an art talk in and of itself, but art is a form of self-expression, a way to express yourself artistically through different means, through music, through cooking, through painting, through sculpting. Right? Art is a form of self-expression. Yet, in order for us to effectively express ourselves in the way that we feel we can best connect with other people, we have to get over the technical obstacle. We have to learn the fundamentals. We have to learn the little nooks and crannies, all of the technical, plugins that we're going to need for that particular type of artistic career in order for us to communicate. And that takes a while. There's a learning curve to that. So before we can even know whether or not a specific type of artistic career is the one for us, we have to get over the technical hump first. And that's the word commitment. That's where commitment comes into the story. We have to get through the technical, obstacle course, find ourselves at a point of self-expression and find out whether or not this is the type of self-expression that is best suited for us. Do I express myself best through comedy, through silly, simplified, stylized line? Do I express it well through my use of color and fine art or texture? Do I express myself through value and form? Do I express myself through a myriad of different types of expression? So you might be you might be thinking to yourself, well, what are you trying to say? That I have to commit myself to, a 10-year learning curve here? And nope. So I have to start over and do another 10-year learning curve to that? Nope. No. Of course, that would, again, cost you 50 years of trying to figure yourself out. No. Any professional artist is going to tell you, any teacher is going to tell you, what I teach my students are the fundamentals. Any professional artist knows that the fundamentals will carry you through anywhere you need to go. The fundamentals is that learning curve. The fundamentals apply to any form of art. In fact, I will go out on a limb and I'll say that they apply to any different type of art in general. Music, dance, animation, painting, you name it. I do a little bit of all of it. And I've seen that the same learning curve applies to every one of them. But in each one of these different types of arts, you need to learn little specifics. But the fundamentals are always there. The structure is always there. So you can make a transition from being a cartoonist to being a fantasy illustrator in a space of a year, as long as you have a strong grasp of those fundamentals. That's the foundation for any type of art. So commit yourself to that. Make a commitment. Say, I'm doing this. I'm going to commit myself to learning fantasy art right now. I'll see where it takes me. If I get to the end and I go, I don't feel like I'm I'm not at my full potential on a narrative, on a personal communication level with this particular art form, well, what art form do I communicate best with? Or maybe I can combine it with another type of art form. Maybe I can mix visual arts and music together to fuse that together to experience the full package of who I am and how I can share myself with other people. But you have to commit to it. Because if you just sit down and you play a couple of notes on a keyboard, if you sit down and you pick up, your stylus or your paintbrush and you just go, then you're not giving yourself a chance. You're not committing long enough to get over the technical hump. And you're not making that big leap because you might have that word fate and destiny holding you back from it. So get rid of the word destiny and just adhere to this particular word. Commit to something for now. Worst case scenario, it's not the best career choice. But in the process of doing this, you have learned timeless, valuable life lessons that you will be able to apply to the rest of your life, regardless of whatever career you pursue. So never be afraid to make a commitment, but make one. And the same thing applies to when you're trying to decide what type of art you want to create. If you want to be a fantasy illustrator, give it your best shot. Take a couple of courses in fantasy illustration, dedicate yourself, spend a good year or two getting really good at fantasy art. If you get to the end of it and go, I can't do this for the next 50 years, but I could do that, then take everything you've learned from fantasy art and apply it to this new sci-fi, apply it to comic book art, apply it to whatever, cartooning. But you will never, ever lose those lessons you learn, and you'll always be able to benefit from the value you've learned from them. All right? So hopefully today's art talk was a bit of an inspiration. Hopefully it helps push your career forward or get you out of that slump that you've been in for a little while. Remember, I have my online mentorship, LUCIDPIXUL. You can go and check all the information below if it's something that interests you. And remember that we have the Brush Sauce Theater art contest, and join an art competition where you get free professional critique of your work and you're part of a huge growing community of artists. And definitely want to check that out. All the information below. And of course, if you have any feedback you want to share on this video as well, your own personal experience, well, let us know in the comments below. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and take care. Bye-bye.